Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How are you? Welcome, welcome. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So we are delighted you're with us today, and let's begin with a prayer as we do all our services here in our church. We just come together now as one mind, one heart, one spirit. We truly know that we were all created by the one Creator. We allow ourselves to fully become aware of that truth as we start this day. That we may always be reminded that we are all one. And so as we affirm that, we think of all churches, all mosques, all temples, all synagogues. We know that all those folks, all of their belief systems lead to the one God. So we honor each and every path to God, each and every person in their own truth. And so we bless this day, we bless this congregation, we bless all who are here and all who cannot be with us. We hold all in our congregation who are ill. We hold them in our love and in our healing truth of knowing that within them is all that they will ever need to heal themselves. And we affirm that with them and for them right now. So we say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen. So let's do our screen. Yes, surely the presence. Our statement of being, there is but one presence and one power in this church, in our lives, and in the universe, God, the good omnipotence. So I'm going to have Dave come up, please, and read the daily word.
Actually, I was just going to read it like this. February 7th, 2021. Inner peace. I express the peace of God. Peace, be still. With these words, Jesus claimed his authority and calmed the stormy waters. Following Jesus' example, I too claim authority. In a stressful moment, I center my awareness in the divine presence that lives in me and expresses through me. This divine presence is perfect life, love, and wisdom. It is peace that nothing and no one can disturb. No matter what might be happening around me, at the center of my being, there is always peace. It is an aspect of my divine inheritance. As near as my next thought, I release all fear and tension and embrace the peace of God. As I do, divine peace radiates from the center of my being. It clarifies my thoughts, calms my emotions, and relaxes my body. In every situation, I am presence of peace. Those of steadfast mind you keep in peace because they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3.
Thank you, Dave. So let's sing a song. Miss Lynn is gonna play for us. We've really missed you, darling. We're happy you're back.
I miss you too.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that part.
She asked if I'd help with the song.
Right. Because this song's tricky.
Oh, it's tricky. Well, that's all right. We're just happy to have you.
Okay.
Lean on me.
Let's do it.
that goes for every one of you. If you ever need anything, you call me, okay? That's what we're here for. All right, thank you, Lynn. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dave, for being our song leader. So you all have heard me say many times that this planet, this universe, is biased toward healing. Our ability to heal and to be made whole is built into our survival mechanisms. It's predetermined in us. It displays itself in all of nature as the preference of life. Our bones heal, our cuts heal, plants and herbs and vegetables of all kind grow to keep us healthy. Animals know how to heal themselves. We are in this universe of one mind that is biased toward healing and wholeness. It was created to support itself in so many ways, and part of that is we were created to support each other. It's why this planet has survived and thrived for millions of years. It's also why humans have continued to survive and thrive, not just survive. We humans have a built-in ability to evolve and to change and to adapt as the evolution of the planet continues. Nothing is random or accidental. There is an amazing master plan, and we're all part of that plan. The title of my talk today is Our True Nature is Compassion. Our compassion is also built into us and is how we survive with each other. It's part of the whole master plan. So what does the word compassion mean? So, well, if you break it down, you know that C-O-M means everybody, all of it, the whole thing. We know that passion is a hunger or an ache or a desire. And so we all have this desire. It's in us somehow to be compassionate about other people. Compassion is, according to the dictionary, kindness, consideration, empathy, and concern for one another. So we have a built-in desire, a built-in hunger to have concern for one another. We see it in humans and we see it in the animal kingdom. How often have we seen pictures of the dog that's adopted the fawn, or vice versa, the deer that's adopted the dog, because the animal had been orphaned? We've seen, I even saw one, many of you may have seen it, where the dog adopted a goose. And they grew up together, and the goose went everywhere the dog went. It's in our DNA. It's how we survive. We reach out to others with compassion and kindness and generosity when we know they're in need. This is a spiritual part of who we are. You know also that I say we're both human and divine. And in our divinity and our spirituality, we do reach out. In our humanness, sometimes we feel that we can't reach out for one fear-driven reason or another. Excuse me. That hesitance is always fear-driven. Most all of our fears come in a belief of lack and limitation. We don't have enough, or we're somehow limited in some way. But in our natural spiritual state, we never hesitate. We know there's always enough. In our spiritual selves, we don't have any fear. We just have wisdom and guidance and compassion, with no thought of any unmet needs of our own. We see it told about on our news almost every day. We see how people do amazing rescues without even thinking of their own safety. This is an instinct of compassion, an innate instinct in every one of us. I've often wondered when I saw a story like that what I would do if it came my turn to have to do something so courageous. And I guess none of us knows. But I do know that it is innate in us to care deeply for our fellow man, for our planet, for our animals. Those inexplicable and those extraordinary rescues to total strangers always touch our hearts deeply. You know when something's really touched your heart, that is a part of who you truly are. The teachings of Jesus are all about compassion. It was one of Jesus' most frequent teachings. And in Matthew chapter 13, verse 34, Jesus said this. He said, "I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter what has been hidden since the foundation of the world." And we know that all the way through the New Testament, all of Jesus' stories were taught in allegory and parable. And they were all about caring for other people. And that's really kind of what we're talking about here this morning, that foundation upon which the world was formed, which is what Jesus said, "I will utter what has been hidden since the foundation of the world." The foundation of the world, as I said when I first started talking, is the ability of the planet to heal itself. The ability of us to heal ourselves and others. That's the foundation of how this planet survives. And as I read more and more about this, Jesus' teachings in the book of Matthew and Mark were all about caring for other people, about helping people, about healing other people, about impressing upon his disciples that they could do what he was doing when he was healing and caring for others, and that in fact they could do greater things than he could do. And Jesus spoke to the multitudes who followed him everywhere for healing. He taught them these things when he would speak. Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Judge not, and you will not be judged. Do good, expecting nothing in return. Condemn not, and you shall not be condemned. Forgive, and you shall be forgiven. Give, and it will be returned to you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. For the measure that you give will be the measure that you will get back. That's just 2 pages. Just 2 pages of Jesus' parables and teachings in Matthew and Mark. His entire ministry, his entire mission was to teach people to be compassionate towards one another and to be assured that the kindness and the compassion, that the good works would be returned to them in good measure. Don't even worry about it. Just know. That's how the universe works. That was his constant message. He emphasized over and over again, do good works without fear. You'll always get back more than you give, always. In unity, we have a saying, you can't outgive God. Don't worry a bit about where your good will come from. It most likely will not come from the same source or the same person you gave it to, because that's usually how it works. But make no mistake, it will come back to you. And we can remember the truth that this universe is driven by the law of circulation We can let go of the fear and follow the principles of compassion that Jesus taught. We can do that without a moment of hesitation. We can let go of the fear and just know that this universe is guided by the law of circulation. Call it karma, call it what goes around comes around, doesn't matter. It's a law of circulation. What we give out comes back. If we stop getting, we stop receiving. It's a law of the universe, and a law that we can trust. When we believe that there's enough, there's always enough. We can count on it. We don't even think about it. You will always feel more in harmony with your inner self, your own spirit, your soul, by having the fortitude to make courageous choices than by collapsing out of fear and compromising yourself. That never works. We're all far more peaceful and comfortable in our spiritual skin than we are when we're driven by fear from our human limited thinking. Who we truly are is our spirit. There is no limit to our spirit. There is no limit to that of us which is beyond our humanness. It's really something we all have to remember on a daily basis. That we have a profound need to trust the universe, to trust our inner guidance, to trust that our life is on a path of purpose. Think about it. How often do you turn on the television or pick up the newspaper and read where some courageous soul has put his or her life on the line to save another human being without any concern at that moment for their own safety? It's part of that innate gift of courage that the universe gives us all. And I suspect that any of us in this room that had that happen would also be very courageous. It's just instinctive in us. There's lots of ways to show compassion. A few days ago, I was watching the news, and there was a couple honored on TV that they had opened their home over the years to 50 foster children. When they interviewed the wife, she said it was an easy decision for them to make because the children needed a home and needed love, and they had both to give. The people were being honored in that news story because she had just died of COVID, and he was, excuse me, and he was fighting for his life. But they had changed over their lifetime. And they were only 62, but they had changed the lives of 50 people. When you hear something like that, doesn't it touch your soul deeply? I always wonder, would I have that courage? I had a difficult time raising one boy. Don't know. But I also know that we also do what we're talented to do. My talents and your talents, and each of your talents are different. And so however we're called to give is what suits our own talents. But I do, and I did when I heard that. I asked myself, what was the grace that allows a person to have the courage to make choices that are so profoundly good that their consequences live on long after that person has passed away. The two of those folks unselfishly gave love and life to 50 people. I find that amazing. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. told an audience in Montgomery, Alabama, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" In October of 2014, there was a young man named Peyton James. He took his own life at age 13 after a lot of years of being bullied. He was born prematurely and was very small. He had often asked his mother why people were so mean. Following his death, Peyton's organs, his corneas, and his skin were donated, which changed the lives of 6 people. In his memory, his mother founded Kindness Matters, a movement of people that believe that everything we do and say matters. Everything we do and say matters. And from moment to moment, we can always choose kindness. Kindness is the gracious gesture of compassion. It's the soul's recognition that another person deserves the same love and kindness and respect that we want others to give us, that we want for ourselves. My good friend Mary Morrissey said that one day she realized that as she went through the grocery line, she completely ignored the checker that was checking her groceries because Mary had a very important phone call that she didn't want to miss. And she realized after she left that she had never even greeted the checker. She said as she laid her head on the pillow that night, she was assessing her day and her contribution to the day. She felt really awful when she realized that she had not been courteous to the grocery checker and that she had treated her as if she was non-existent. She vowed to herself to never do that again. She will not ever talk on her phone in the grocery store. She will not ever again ignore anyone who serves her. I was really glad she shared that with me because now I'm aware of being respectful to those who serve me, and wondered how many times in my lifetime I was too busy to acknowledge the person who was serving me for whatever reason. Kindness matters. And as I was writing this, I felt compelled to add this, and I have to say this to every single one of you who are here today, every one of you. You have been so graceful, and so kind to me in so many ways, and I am very grateful. You have made my journey here so much easier and so filled with love and kindness. Each one of you in your own way, with your own talents and your gifts, have made it so easy for me to come from Houston to this church. And each and every time any of you extend any kindness, it reminds me we are connected at the very core of our being. And I appreciate every one of you more than you know. You see, when we awaken to the truth that we're all connected to each other, acting with compassion, simply becomes the natural thing that you do. I love the diary of Anne Frank. She made us think about so many things at such an early age. She didn't live very long, but she left behind such wisdom. One of the passages in her diary says this: "Why can't we just love each other and live together peacefully?" It's a question we want to ask ourselves every day. We want to remind ourselves daily to focus on love and to practice kindness and compassion toward ourselves as well as others. Living that way doesn't mean that we'll never be upset or hurt or there won't be any discord in our life anymore. It just means we'll catch ourselves sooner. We'll bring ourselves back to center more quickly. It's called being aware. I had this on my computer for many years. It's just a little sentence from the Dalai Lama. Someone asked him about his religion, and he said, "My religion is kindness." Our sole purpose is for each one of us to be helpful to one another in whatever way that our own talents dictate. And as I said, all of you in this room have done that for this church and for me, and I am so grateful, and I want you to know that. We may be called to do great things, or we may be called to do small, simple things. What's important is, will we answer the call? Kindness and service to another reminds us that we've been blessed and that we have plenty to share. And in the sharing, everyone is blessed. And I want to say one more very important thing about kindness and compassion. Be kind to yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. We are all on a journey of spiritual growth. This life is our school. We have to love ourselves in spite of all the ways we've fallen down or screwed up or decided we didn't measure up. None of that is true. None of that is true. This life is our school. When we make a mistake, we simply learn from that mistake and say, okay, I won't do that again. At Unity, guilt trips are not allowed. The word sin is an archery term, and it simply means we miss the mark, and we can practice and do it over till we get it right. And here's the important part. We'll never learn how to have compassion for another person if we don't learn how to have compassion for ourselves. Be kind to yourself. Have compassion for yourself. And remember that we are all perfectly imperfect, just as we are. And I'll say it one more time. Guilt trips are not allowed. Again, I want to tell you how much I love you, how you bless us all, and I want to thank you for that. So let's move in now to a moment of meditation, of reflection. Just allow yourself to take a few deep breaths and just allow yourself again to be reminded that we're all one, that one spirit fills this room. And just allow yourself to feel that. Breathe in again. Just allow yourself to be fully present, to be quiet, to listen. To listen to that still small voice that is always within us, always speaking to us. Remind ourselves, however it works for us to remind ourselves, that compassion is love in action. Compassion is love in action. The one energy that we call God, that we call love, connects us all, allows us to respond beyond our ego. Allows us to respond in the realm of divine compassion. Compassion is love, and the greatest gift we can give another. In the Buddhist tradition, compassion and love are seen as two aspects of the same thing. Compassion is the wish for another being to be free from suffering. To want them to have happiness and to be filled with love. The Dalai Lama calls compassion an active prayer. Prayer that connects us heart to heart. Compassion is love in action. God can only do for us what God can do through us. We are the hands and the feet of God in action. We remind ourselves of that on a daily basis as we look for ways to connect heart to heart, to be kind, to show love, to give our talent in whatever way. And our prayer is that we listen, that we're guided, and that we take the action that we are guided to take. And so we say thank you for this truth of who we are. Thank you for this innate kindness in each and every human. May we never forget. May we always remember. It's who we are. And so it is. Amen. Thank you, Lynn. Beautiful. So we do have visitors this morning. It's Lynn's aunt and uncle from San Antonio, and we want to honor you this morning. We're so glad you're here, Bob and Shirley, and we hope you come back again sometime. So, I think I don't see anyone else who's new here for the first time, but we're glad all of you are here again. So don't forget, we have a love offering basket in the back as you leave, since we can't pass a collection plate these days. And our bookstore is open. And Ray, I kept your book aside, the one that you wanted, so see me before you go home. We did get the new books in last week that we had ordered. And let's see, you can watch this on YouTube, and we are working on, we hope to launch it by the 21st of February, but we're working on being able to see the service in real time. So you can go on Facebook, you can go on YouTube, or you can go on our website, whichever one is the most comfortable for you, and see the service as it's happening, which means I need to straighten up my act. Anyway, so we'll let you know, but right now that is the goal. And a little bird told me that tomorrow is Lynn's birthday. So we're going to have Lynn play her own birthday song, and we're going to sing happy birthday to her. How about that right now? Let's do it.
I'm not even sure I know.
You don't remember how to do it? Okay, well, we'll do it a cappella. As my friend of mine used to say, we'll do it Acapulco.
Ole.
All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gwen. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Thank you. So we're going to close the service now with a screen video. It is the song Angels Among Us. And in that video we have there are some people highlighted who have done extraordinary things.
Okay, we need to sing that song.
Huh?
It's got to be in the repertoire.
Okay, good. There is another version with the words. We'll do it that way next time. How's that? That is a beautiful song. So thanks to all of you. Let's do our peace song and our prayer for protection. And have a wonderful week. And I have something for you too, Wynn. Don't leave till I can get it to you.
Okay.
The power of God protects us. The presence of God